Reason why it really, really gets my blood boiling is because it's the exact same thing we see in every other sport. The games were
Clip 1. This is just getting ridiculous, honestly. If you ask me, Sue Bird would be the last person I'd expect to drop these kinds of comments on Caitlin Clark. Really, Sue, the generational talent herself. Someone who's seen it all, knows the game inside and out, and understands the intricate court politics better than. And now she's acting like this, come on. Clip 2.
Continue to flip that. Those people, I've seen Stephen A. Smith talk about it. I've seen Shannon Sharp talk about it. And that's what I just don't understand is they work for ESPN. So why are you hating on a
This, come on. Clip 2. It's like she just threw herself into the same drama pit as everyone else. Bird, a walking WNBA history book, took aim at Caitlin Clark. And let me tell you, it's got people talking.
But the viewership's going to be insane no matter what. Great.
Got people talking. Clip 3. We're talking about Sue Bird here. She's basically basketball royalty. But out of nowhere, she decides to go off on Caitlin Clark, the kid, who's practically been carrying the league's ticket sales and viewership on her back. Why, apparently it's because ticket prices and TV ratings have tanked since Clark's team, the Indiana Fever, got booted from the playoffs. Now, that's not exactly breaking news. Clark is a fan magnet playing, and simple and to imply that we should just ignore
the impact that Caitlin Clark had and still continues to have on this team, this league, this sport. Nah, it doesn't work that way.
Just ignore. Clip 4. Honestly, just look at the Golden State Valkyries, an expansion team that's already sold out something like 18,000 season tickets. Clark doesn't even play there, and yet her influence is undeniable. Still, some people keep flipping the narrative. I've seen Stephen A. Smith talk about it. I've seen Shannon Sharp talk about it. And here's what I don't get. They work for ESPN. Why are they hating on a product that's literally part of their business?
On her, like, we were right about Caitlin, and this is our defense. And I still think there's something.
Clip 5. It's not that they can't voice their opinions, but Sue didn't just point that out and move on. Oh no, she went all in, even dragging Stephen A. and Shannon Sharp into the mix. And let's be real, those two are known for being brutally honest about everything. So what exactly is Sue Bird mad about? Stephen A. and Shannon Sharp calling it like they see it. It's not even like they're wrong.
I don't know how you explain. Like, honestly, look at the Golden State Valkyries. It's an expansion team. They've already sold out. I think it's 18,000 season tickets. Caitlin doesn't play there. And yet some people continue to flip that. Those people, I've seen Stephen A. Smith talk about it. I've seen Shannon Sharp talk about it. And that's what I just don't understand is they work for ESPN. So why are you hating on a product?
Clip 6. And let's talk about this whole Bird versus Clark situation for a second. Could this be bitterness? Let's be real. Caitlin Clark skyrocketed to being the face of women's basketball in what feels like 2 seconds. She's pulling in massive crowds and viewership numbers like no one else ever has. But then here comes Sue throwing shade at anyone who dares to say the obvious. The WNBA is struggling to keep up without Clark on the court.
NBA playoff ratings after Caitlin Clark's exit. You say, what? Why? Why?
WNBA wants to act like its success is a result of collective growth. But let's be real, is Caitlin Clark dragging the league forward, kicking and screaming. Without her, those TV ratings plummet, those ticket sales nosedive, and those merchandise profits evaporate. The league should be bending over backward to keep her happy, not sticking to antiquated pay structures that scream we don't actually value you. Fans aren't blind to this. Nonsense. Social media is flooded with calls for change. People are pointing out the absurdity of her paycheck compared to her impact. It's not just about fairness, it's about business. You don't underpay, pay the person responsible for your survival. That's not just bad optics, it's bad math. But apparently the WNBA is too busy patting itself on the back for incremental growth to notice the league is playing a dangerous game. If they don't adapt, they risk losing not just Clark, but the entire momentum she's created. Players like her aren't a dime a dozen, they're once in a generation talents who can redefine a sport. If the WNBA doesn't figure out a way to pay her what she's worth, or at least close to it, don't be surprised, Eurus, if other leagues or opportunities come calling. And when that happens, the WNBA will have no one to blame but itself. Caitlin Clark, the rookie, drops a bombshell after making $10 million off the court. The basketball phenom, who's making less than the cost of a decent SUV in her first year on the court, has turned her modest paycheck into a PR gold mine, while others are sweating over their 9 to 5. Grind Caitlin is cashing six-figure checks just to show up and talk, and get that some brands are willing to fork over more than the price of a house, and fly her across the country just to have her grace their stage, while the WNBA throws her peanuts. Caitlin Clark has turned her off-the-court presence into a financial empire, stacking up $10 million in the process. Yes, that's right, the rookie everyone felt sorry for has more zeros in her bank account than some seasoned NBA veterans. For Clark, the transition from college to the WNBA wasn't just about showcasing her skills. It was about proving that she belonged at the highest level of the game. Critics like Swoops doubted Caitlin Clark's ability to handle the physicality and pace of the professional game. But Clark didn't just meet expectations, she shattered them. Her adaptability against offenses, ability to play through contact, and knack for making clutch plays in critical moments showcase a level of maturity rarely seen in first players. Swoop's initial critique of Clark wasn't limited to her playing style. She also questioned Clark's ability to lead a team, suggesting that her individual success might come at the expense of team cohesion. Once again, Clark defied expectations. Her unselfish play and ability to rally her teammates became one of the Fever's greatest strengths, solidifying organizational changes that were essential for the Fever's resurgence. White implemented more rigorous training sessions, introduced analytics-driven game plans, and prioritized mental conditioning to prepare players for high-pressure situations. These measures paid off as the Fever not only improved their win-loss record, but also displayed a newfound resilience in close games. Swoop's narrative of a fractured locker room couldn't have been further from the truth. Players often spoke about the familial atmosphere within the team, describing group outings, post-practice bonding sessions, and a shared determination to succeed. White's emphasis on accountability was key to this dynamic. She encouraged players to take ownership of their mistakes, while also celebrating their achievements, fostering a culture of continuous improvement. As White worked to rebuild the Fever's image, she didn't shy away from addressing Swoop's remarks. Heated in a candid interview, she called out the inaccuracies in Swoop's statements, urging critics to look at the evidence rather than relying on hearsay. Our players are proud to be part of this team. White asserted the work ethic, the chemistry, the hunger to win. It's all here. Anyone claiming otherwise hasn't been paying attention. Perhaps the most telling moment came when White discussed the team's future. Her vision extended far beyond a single championship. She spoke passionately about building a dynasty with Clark, Mitchell, and the rest of the Fever's corp leading the charge. White explained this isn't just about winning now, it's about creating a legacy that lasts in the face of criticism and doubt. Why White's unwavering belief in her team was a driving force behind their resurgence. Her ability to navigate the challenges of rebuilding a franchise while countering external negativity demonstrated her strength as a leader by setting the record straight and focusing on what truly mattered. White not only silenced her detractors, but also laid the foundation for a brighter future for the Indiana Fever. When Caitlin Clark entered the WNBA as a highly anticipated rookie, the expectations were sky high. The Indiana Fever, in desperate need of a game changer, had selected Clark in the draft, and everyone from fans to analysts had their eyes on her performance. But one particular voice echoed across the basketball community with criticism. Cheryl Swoops, a legendary player and analyst, had been outspoken in her belief that Clark's game wouldn't translate to the professional level. She doubted that Clark's style would succeed in the WNBA and suggested that the transition would be more difficult than many anticipated. But Caitlin Clark wasn't just any rookie. She was a force of nature and UNP parallel talent who had already redefined college basketball with her incredible scoring, playmaking, and leadership. At Iowa, her ability to make plays from anywhere on the court was undeniable. When Clark made the leap to the WNBA, she quickly proved that the skeptics, including Swoops, were wrong. Clark's rookie season with the Fever was nothing short of spectacular. In her first year, Caitlin Clark averaged 2 points, 7 rebounds, and 4 assists per game, solidifying her place as one of the brightest stars in the league. Not only did she dominate offensively, but her versatility made her an invaluable asset on defense as well. Clark's immediate impact on the Fever was undeniable, and she didn't just play the game. She changed it. She took on the role of a leader, not only by putting up impressive stats, but also by elevating the performance of her teammates around her. This was a stark contrast to Swoop's early predictions when Clark entered the league, many believed that her style of play, more individualistic and reliant on her scoring ability, wouldn't mesh well with the WNBA's team-oriented structure. Swoops, with her wealth of experience and success in the league, expressed doubts about whether Clark could adapt her high-volume, high-scoring game to the professional level, but Clark quickly silenced those concerns with her all-around game and leadership on and off the court. Caitlin Clark did more than just adapt to the professional stage. She thrived. Her rookie success was evident in her ability to contribute to every aspect of the game. She became the catalyst for the Fever's offense, setting the tone for the entire team. Her court vision and playmaking were exceptional, and in her leadership on the floor helped guide the team to their first playoff appearance since 2016. While her numbers were staggering, it was her ability to make her teammates better that truly set her apart, showing that her impact went beyond individual achievement. Caitlin Clark's leadership qualities were evident from the start, and Stephanie White, the Fever's head coach, quickly recognized that Clark was capable of much more than just scoring points. White's belief and Clark's potential grew as the season progressed. The coach played an active role in shaping Clark's development, focusing on refining her skills and expanding her basketball IQ. White worked with Clark to improve her efficiency on the floor, particularly in decision-making, and maximizing her impact on both ends of the court. As the season unfolded, Clark's confidence and maturity grew, solidifying her undeniable impact on the Fever. Caitlin Clark was named Rookie of the Year and made the All-WNBA first-team achievements that cemented her place as one of the league's top players. Even more impressive, however, was how Clark handled the pressure in criticism from voices like Cheryl Swoops. Rather than getting distracted by negativity, Clark let her play speak for itself. Stephanie White, who coached Clark closely throughout the season, praised her for her resilience and drive. Caitlin's not just focused on being great herself, she's focused on helping this team succeed. White said in interviews her growth as a leader has been incredible, and I'm excited to see how she continues to evolve. As the Fever moved into the postseason, Clark's leadership was on full display throughout the season. She wasn't just a scorer, she was a floor general, a player who could make the right decision at the right moment. Her ability to facilitate the offense and set up teammates for success made her invaluable to the team's playoff run. While Swoops may have underestimated Clark's ability to thrive in the WNBA, it was clear the rookie was more than ready for the challenge. In the end, Swoops' criticism of Clark seemed misguided. Not only did Clark's game translate seamlessly to the WNBA, but she also became the centerpiece of the Fever's future success. Her growth from college star to professional leader was a testament to her work ethic, basketball IQ, and unrelenting desire to be the best. A contrast between Swoop's early predictions and just ignore. Clip 4. Honestly, just look at the Golden State Valkyries, an expansion team that's already sold out something like 18,000 season tickets. Clark doesn't even play there, and yet her influence is undeniable. Still, some people keep flipping the narrative. I've seen Stephen A. Smith talk about it. I've seen Shannon Sharp talk about it. And here's what I don't get. They work for ESPN. Why are they hating on a product that's literally part of their business?